Hey everybody, it's Katrina with Hen's House Homeschooling. We are working on a preparedness video. We were in Hurricane Helene. We are in South Georgia. And so I kind of wanted to tell y'all our story, then what worked well for us during that time, and then what we're planning on doing to make the next emergency a little bit easier for our family, kind of like what worked, what didn't work. So Hurricane Helene was 4 weeks and a day ago. And it was supposed to hit as a category 4, and then by the time it got to us, it was supposed to be like a tropical storm category 1. So the kids and I, we got like food cooked, we got the bathtubs filled up with water. We expected to have the power out for a day or two, and we made sure that we had food that was just ready to grab, eat and go. We had our table set, we had a hurricane party snack station ready, we had like all of our flashlights, all of our chargers, we had everything on the table ready to go. And we did our go bag just in case, because you should always have one of those in case for some reason you do have to evacuate. But we do live in a mobile home, and so we thought we were gonna be good. And then about, I guess, 7 o'clock, Cook County put out a notice that like it's still coming as a 4, and that if you live in a mobile home, you need to get out. So I woke up my husband, who was taking a nap, and I was like, what do we do? And so he called his mom, and we ended up driving all the way out. It's probably about 30 minutes away from where we are, but it was really a cool experience in a way, that particular situation, because we already had our go bag ready, we already had snacks ready. So from the time that like we made the decision we were leaving to the time that we pulled out of our driveway, it only took 15 minutes. Like, our go bag was already ready. We just put snacks in the cooler, we had to load up, everybody grabbed their blankets and pillows because we were going to be crashing at his parents' house. So we just wanted to make sure we were ready. But from the time we said we're going to the time we were leaving, it took 15 minutes. It was really cool. And we probably could have even shaved some time off of there, but I was really proud of our 15-minute getaway. So we ended up being over at their house during the storm. The first within the first 10 minutes, you could just hear, as the wind was picking up, you could just hear the trees falling within the first 15 minutes. And then during the eye of the storm, as we're checking on everybody, because we still had signal at that point, I checked on my parents, and let's backtrack just a little. Prior to this, I had called and said, hey, do y'all want to come stay at our house? They were like, no, we're gonna stay where we are, because it was really only supposed to be like a tropical storm category 1. It was not what hit us though. I guess is between a 3 and a 4, depending on who you ask, what actually hit. But my mom texted me back that they were in the laundry room because trees had fallen on the house. And I was like, wait, what? And at first I thought she was joking, because I'd kind of been like, are you sure you don't want to come over? You're positive? And then I was like, but my husband was like, True, she's not joking. So really, they were in the laundry room. They actually ended up with 7 trees on their house. And so either way, we rode out the rest of the storm. We were in the eye for about 20 minutes. And then of course everything shifted, and it wasn't, the second half was not as bad as the first, but the problem was everything was already loosened up. And so anything that hadn't fallen already kind of decided to go down on the second half. So of course there's no power. We had no cell service. It was hard. So the next morning we did know that there was they were asking people not to get on the road until 12. So we waited till about, I guess, 12ish to get out on the road to come home and see what our house looked like. And thankfully we just had a little bit of siding off of our house. Our trampoline, which was anchored in with a 2-foot screw in anchors, was like several yards away with the anchors still attached. That was crazy, but our chickens did make it. They did have the same anchors. I think because they had some trees to kind of break the wind, they didn't fly away. Their coop wasn't able to go. So other than that though, we were very blessed. We had no cell service, so it's really hard to get a hold of my parents. We were able to get little bursts here and there. I even pulled out my ham radio just to kind of check and see like what were the conditions in Lakeland. Could we even get through Lakeland? And so my husband and I, we both went ahead. We took 2 cars because with 7 trees on the house, we wanted to make sure we got at least all the important stuff out and shoved into the cars while we could, because they were trapped in, not in the house, they were able to get out of the house, but like my brother's car was totaled. Thankfully his house wasn't as damaged. He did have a tree on his, but his car was just, I mean, there's literally a tree on it still a month later. And but my parents there were so many trees in their yard that were down, they couldn't get out, so we went out until they were able to get that cleared to get their vehicles. So we went out, we packed up as much as we could, we brought them here, and so we're really excited in a way that they get to stay with us for this time. It really sucks for the reasoning, but it's really, we're enjoying this, we're making the best of it, this time to just get to be together as a family. So that's kind of our story. Thankfully, everybody was okay. We had no injuries in our family. My parents are perfectly fine. They walked out without a scratch. I think we got more scratches on us from moving stuff out of their house later and in their yard than we did during the actual storm. But we were, it was a learning experience. So we didn't have power for 9 days. Most stores, if you found one that was open, was cash only. Gas was very hard to find because like there were several places that had no power, so they had no gas, so then people were going like outward to get gas. We thankfully had water because we do have a generator. So we were able to get water in our house, but a lot of people weren't able to do that. Let's see, there's no gas, no internet. We still don't have internet at our house. There was no cell signal for about 48 hours. It was in and out, and even after that, for the next like 2 weeks, I want to say, maybe just around there, 2 weeks-ish. We had times we were in SOS mode just randomly. We'd be sitting down talking to somebody on the phone, get off the phone, and then we're in SOS mode. So these were all things just to think about and plan for you know, any kind of next hurricane that happens. So things that worked for us that were other than a generator, like if you can get a generator, get a generator. We had an old generator. We ended up upgrading in the middle of our power outage. I had put on my Facebook, I'd put out a shout out to Lowe's. We went to Lowe's. They had the generators were already on a cart with everything you needed. It was great. So they did a really good job. And so we ran, all the kids slept in the living room. If you can hear my dog over there, he is deciding now is the time to roll around in the dirt right next to us. All the kids slept in the living room. We had the window unit going. Thank God, because it was hot, y'all. My husband, he was a lifesaver with being able to hook up our window unit and everything with AC. So things that were really helpful to us, other than a generator, because I know a lot of people are like, you need to get other than a generator. First of all, just being prepared in general, like having the food already cooked, having the bathtubs already filled up with water. What else? Our devices were already charged. We had our battery packs charged. Just preparedness in general was really helpful, because the first 72 hours after the storm were crazy. It was hard to get go anywhere. We didn't have power. We were trying to conserve gas because we knew that you know, it was hard to find gas. We also knew that places, and you know, also having cash was big because there were places that only accepted cash. Also having a network. For what we were able to do, we had texted my pastor, and I just kind of told him the situation. We did like a church check-in, and I'd mentioned, and he said he was getting gas and that there's a place you could get gas that accepted cards. And so it was a little north of us by like 30-ish, 20-ish miles, something like that. So we were able to go up there and get that. So networking is really huge. Having a network that can be able to say, hey, these are where resources are. That is just, you know, networking is huge. Another thing is being organized. When we decided to leave, we were able to get out in 15 minutes because we were already organized. We already had it ready to go. We were already organized with it. When we went and got my parents that Friday, they were already organized, and a lot of their important stuff, important documents, you know, having, you know, clothes ready, they were able to just kind of, so just being organized in general, we were able to get them out of the house quickly and safely, because our biggest concern was that the house was going to fall down. with the trees. So just being able to get them out quickly was a big due to organization and knowing where your stuff is and having it in like locations that you could just grab and go. So that was huge. So if you were like, hey, I don't really have a lot of money, I don't know what to do to prep, hey, being organized is huge. Networking, huge. All free things so far, okay? Just general being prepared, like being able to fill up your water, charging your devices and cooking food ahead of time. All of those things that I just said were free. I mean, like, that's no charge things. That's something that you can do even if you were like, I don't have a lot of money. You can do those things. So the next thing, this is really cool. I ordered this baby off of Amazon. I think it was a year ago. It was after our last year, after our big storm last year, I ordered this. And I didn't need it for this last storm that came through, but this past storm, Helene, we use this a lot. What it is, it's a solar charger. It wasn't super expensive. I got it half off, so I was looking for half off deals. It's a flashlight on this end, but also, it's really cool. It has several different ports right here that you can charge your devices. And my kids use this at night because there were times where, like, because we were trying to conserve gas in the beginning, we didn't always have it on. So we were able to also charge our devices in here. So this is great for just general having, camping, whatever. But it was also, this was a lifesaver for us during the hurricane and whatnot. Right, also, 2 years ago when we went to Nationals in Kentucky, the kids, as a little gift from the Kentucky place, they gave the kids these little flashlights, and this is called a hybrid light, right thinking, and we are actually going to be doing a fundraiser with this for archery at a later date because these ended up being so great. We're able to test them, and I can give you testimonials on how great they were. But this particular one, each kid had one, and you just charged it, solar charge, put right on my porch during the day. It charged right on up, and then let's see, you could use it. It's got a little battery pack, right, or a little thing so you can plug in your phone or something right there. Also, so this is a flashlight right here, but I really like this because we had them in the bathrooms. It turns into a lantern, and it actually is very bright. I can't show you out here because it's so light outside, but this actually is really great in the bathrooms because, you know, with kids, the dark can be scary, especially when, like, it's so quiet and they already are kind of on edge because of an emergency. So just having this light in the bathroom was so cool. I also had some cool little, and I've already put them away, but they look like little light bulbs, and you charge them and you just hang them on different locations, and you just press the little button. It's like a little light bulb, and it's really cool. They're camping ones. You can get them off of Amazon for really good deals. So solar was such a big thing to us because we really did want to try to conserve our gas and conserve the energy. And if for some reason something happened and we couldn't get gas, solar was the way to go. So having multiple ways to do stuff is a good thing to do. Another thing, a camping shower, which we still actually have hanging up on my clothesline. That was really cool because we did have cold water because we did have the generator going, but it was cold. And y'all, ladies, you know, long hair in a cold shower, and I did it the first time because I had insulation and dirt and just stuff in my hair, and I had to wash it. But it was so horrible to wash long hair in cold water like that. So we got out the camping shower and we hung it up, and I'm not saying it was super hot or super, you know, warm or anything like that, but it did get lukewarm for us. And bless my husband, y'all, he came out and he held it for me so that I could actually, like, really wash my hair, because by day 5, y'all, dry shampoo was just not cutting it. And as a morale booster, oh gosh, having clean hair, y'all, it was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it was absolutely amazing. So I don't mind washing my body in cold water, but y'all, long hair, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. So the next thing I want to tell you about is, like, we so after, like, any kind of event or anything, you should always get together with your family, your friends, all that. What can you do better? What are you going to do in the future? What went really well? What could you work on? So a couple things for us is we did put up our our clothesline, finally. We finally got that up and going. But washing clothes was a little difficult. Jubilee and I did our first load because about 7 days in, I guess, we're kind of running out of clean clothes. Like, we did all the laundry before, but just with hotness and sweatiness and stuff, we were changing, we were gross, and so we were running out of clothes. So we used this really cool thing. It looks like a plunger, but it's not really a plunger. It actually has this cool little agitator on the inside. And so we actually used some buckets. We filled it up with some cold water. I know we washed it in cold water, but it is what it is. And we put some Dawn soap in there, and we were just able to use this to do our clothes. But it was a lot of work with this thing, and I don't even know if we did a great job. Like, let's be honest, this was the first time we ever had to do laundry by hand. I don't even know if it was great, but and as grateful as we are for this, and we will keep this in our preps because we should have multiple ways of doing things. I've already told my kids what I want for Christmas, and I told them that I want one of those camping bags where it's got like ridges on the inside, and you just throw your clothes in there, and you like put the soap and you shut it, and then you just, and it cleans your clothes, y'all. I'm like, I need this for the next emergency. So that's one thing we talked about doing. We want to get some solar lights on strings so that we can actually bring them in the house. So that'll be cool. My son Oliver's walking out the house, if you didn't see him already. And so, but we want to get some solar lights outside that are strings that we could just hang up inside, kind of like Christmas lights. So we want to get some of those. And the other thing, and it's a big thing, and I think my husband is finally, hopefully going to pull the trigger on this. We've been talking about it for a while, is we want to get Starlink, because it is a satellite-based internet service, and they're trying to get like Starlink and that up in the mountains right now, where people have no signal, no way to communicate. They're trying to get out there so that people can connect to something to be able to communicate somehow. So we want to get the Starlink internet. Several reasons. One, our internet's still out. It's a month later, and we're looking probably at a few more weeks before it comes back. And we do homeschool, and we really like the internet. Like, I'm just saying, and with only having 1 bar of signal out here, it's hard to watch a lot of our shows, and that is a totally not big problem compared to other things out there. But it'd also be good to have communication, and we want to be able to have a way for other people as well in our area to be able to come to our house and be able to use our internet. So hopefully we're going to get Starlink soon, so that they can also contact their families and let them know, A, they're okay, B, are there any needs, and also to help us better our network and have a stronger network for disaster relief and stuff. Because one of the biggest things and what kind of took so long was that we couldn't communicate, and in fact it took that's what also took so long for our electricity to come back on. And they even put the notice out there was that the guys who were doing the linemen in that, they didn't have, like, their cell service was down, they didn't have internet to connect to, so communication was really difficult, and we do not realize how important communication is. So I really want to get Starlink, just to help be a portal for the next time for people to be able to communicate and network a little bit better. So if you have any experiences through Helene that you'd like to share, things that worked really well for you, things that you want to maybe do better in case there's another emergency like that, please put that in the comments. And if you're liking this content, please like and share and subscribe. And I will see you on the next episode. Hope y'all have a great day. Bye.